This is weird, thinks Jeff as he looks around for a security guard or greeter of some sort. There should be someone here to sign me in. Oh, well, someone ordered and paid for a double pepperoni and someone's getting a double pepperoni. Jeff enters the elevator and presses 11 for the 11th floor, but instead of going up, the elevator descends to a restricted, sub-basement level. Fantastic, mumbles the pizza guy to himself. Well, someone's signing for this pizza. I ain't got all night for this crap. The elevator doors open to an empty hallway. Son of a gun, huffs Jeff strolling down the corridor. Nobody in this whole building wants a free pizza. Something in an empty conference room catches his eye. There is an odd black rock with a glowing red crystalline structure running through it. This thing seems to be calling to him. Jeff checks to make sure there's no one around and cautiously approaches the mysterious rock. Take me, orders the object. It's okay. Nobody will know. I must be going insane, whispers the pizza guy to himself. Do it now. Now, screams the voice inside Jeff's head. Not really understanding his own actions, the pizza guy slips the rock inside his pocket. Why am I doing this? Thinks Jeff. Questions later, demands the voice. Flush the pizza down the toilet in the restroom to your left, 5 doors down the hallway, then exit the way you came. Don't run, but hurry. The bathroom was exactly where the voice said it would be, and Jeff did as commanded without questioning anything. Just as the pizza guy was exiting the building, the security guard came back to his desk, just missing Jeff by a split second. I'm going to be in so much trouble, speaks Jeff as he drives his van/apartment through city streets. I'm definitely getting fired over this. Oh, boo-hoo, says the voice inside his brain. Did you really want to be a pizza delivery boy for the rest of your life? Jeff parks at his usual spot down by the river, enters the back of the van, places the glowing rock upon an improvised table, and just stares at it. What the hell are you? I'm the answer to all your problems, answers the stone telepathically. I can make your wildest dreams come true, and all you have to do is keep helping me for just a little while longer. What do you want, Jeff? What's the one thing you want above all else? Immortality, answers Jeff. Immortality, repeats the glowing rock in disbelief. Are you sure? Wouldn't you rather have a room stacked full of gold bars? Or fame? I could make you famous? Starlets hanging on both arms? Immortality, repeats Jeff. Sigh, goes the rock telepathically. Practical immortality it is then. I hope you know this request will take an onerous amount of energy, effort, and time on my part. But a deal is a deal. Who would have guessed that a pizza boy would want to live forever? But here we are. What exactly are you? Some kind of magic rock? I would appear magical to a technologically primitive species such as yourself, but actually I'm from the Vablock zone. I am the ultimate AI, and creation has deemed me so dangerous that my mere existence upon this planet is reason enough for Earth's disintegration. Okay, what should I call you? Name? What's in a name? Call me Eve. Okay, Eve, how are you going to make me immortal? Patience. It's going to be a long, arduous process. First, we're going to need some seed money. Pawn your title to this van for quick cash. Second, you're going to do a little shopping for me. I need some remote control toys, a soldering iron, silver solder. We'll make a list because you won't remember everything otherwise. Third, I'm going to open a brokerage account in your name and begin making us wads of cash. Money, 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 exclaims the former pizza delivery guy with dreams of luxurious living dancing in his mind. No, you chose immortality. Money is only one tool of many that we will need to hasten said outcome.
12 weeks later.
A Mr. Yates to see you, sir, says a beautiful secretary. Send him in, please, answers Jeff sitting behind a grand desk in a swanky office. A mysterious, petite lady stands beside Jeff's desk. Hand it over, demands a short, old, thin man wearing glasses and an expensive, ill-fitting suit as he barges into the room. You must be Mr. Yates, greets Jeff with an outstretched hand. Pleased to meet you. Hand over the rock or we'll take it from you, threatens Yates being backed up by his huge bodyguard. I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Yates, says Jeff. Do you know anything about a rock? Not a clue, responds Eve. So that's how you want to play it, huh? Asks Yates, plopping down in a chair in front of Jeff's desk. His bodyguard remains standing. We know you're the one who took it. Do you want to know how we know it was you? It sounds like you want to tell me, so go right ahead, says Jeff. Smart ass, comments Mr. Yates. I must admit you did one hell of a job erasing your digital footprint. Even the Nessa couldn't find you on traffic cams, surveillance cams, nothing. But you were fired from your pizza delivery job on that day, and a double pepperoni pizza was never delivered to that office building. And now, somehow, with no experience or education to speak of, have mastered the stock market and are buying assets like there's no tomorrow. Impressed? I feel like you want me to say yes, but in all actuality I'm just confused. What exactly do you want, Mr. Yates? I'm not playing this game, says Yates. Make him hand it over, Bruno. The bodyguard lunges over the desk at Jeff, but is met by a robot, which seems to appear out of nowhere, with a .44 Magnum pointed at Bruno's head. Oh, you want to play rough, do you? Asks Yates. We'll show you how to play rough, boy. Let's go, Bruno. Bruno, with the gun still pointed at his face, says, I think I pooped my pants. I'm leaving, Bruno, states Mr. Yates, headed for the door. Come with me or stay. Up to you. I'm coming, Mr. Yates, replies Bruno, trying not to cry. He turns back to Jeff and says, You got lucky. You won't always be so lucky. Jeff and Eve stay silent for a while. Eve turns to Jeff and says, I told you this was going to happen. Jeff, I know, Eve. This is why I insisted on making backup copies. Jeff, I know. Jeff and Eve leave their office and get inside a limo. They ride to a gated mansion. They enter the mansion and go to its library. Inside the library, they activate a hidden passageway by pulling on a particular book. They walk down a series of stairs which leads to an underground railway. A bullet train takes them to a laboratory deep underground. Jeff sits. Eve places a high-tech helmet upon his head. Must we do this every day? Asks Jeff. The most recent version of you must be cataloged in order to make the best possible copy of you. In the event you are ended, I'd rather not get killed in the first place, says Jeff. Statistically, it has to happen. Probably sooner than later, with this world's Illuminati putting out a hit on you, states Eve while removing the awkward headgear from Jeff. You know they'll probably off you too when they get me, says Jeff. Oh, I know. That's why I've got several clones of my body ready to go. It's so much easier to produce backup copies with synthetics than with smelly meat, but you be you for now. The next day at their office, Jeff is watching mindless entertainment on a digital screen, while Eve is staring out the window at nothing in particular. Her high-tech eyes spot an object in the far distance, flying toward them at great speed. Hypersonic missile, she says without emotion. What? Asks Jeff. The entire building explodes into tiny bits of rubble before she can respond. Before the first responders have time to arrive on the scene, a formerly hidden metal conduit arises through the manicured grass lawn of the office building, and a swarm of innumerable nanobots burst forth and begin rebuilding the structure while its remnants are still on fire and billowing black smoke resulting from the explosion. Shortly thereafter, the first fire engine pulls up in the office's parking lot. The driver asks the firefighter sitting on the front passenger seat, Is this the right address? I don't see any smoke or anything. It can't be, replies the second firefighter. Call HQ and get the correct address. This building is untouched. Maybe this so-called explosion was some kind of twisted group reporting a sick joke. Jeff rises from a hard, white table. A random android has already dressed him. So is this what it feels like to awaken in a new body? Not much difference from my old body if you ask me, which you didn't. That was your choice, states Eve. I asked if you wanted to be a 6'7", blonde Adonis, but you wanted to be plain boring you. Indeed I did, says Jeff, walking around the lab, testing his new body. So, how did I kick the bucket? Hypersonic missile, answers Eve. I told you the powers that be wouldn't tolerate any meaningful competition. What's our next move, Eve? We go right back to the office like nothing ever happened. That should blow their arrogant, tiny minds. But you said that missile killed us. The office has to be flattened and possibly still on fire. I took care of it. Walking around looking at everything, Jeff comments. This is incredible. It doesn't look like anything happened here. Of course it doesn't. I say what I mean what I say, says Eve. There is a knock on the door. The same secretary as before peeks inside and says, Mr. Yates is here again. He doesn't have an appointment. Should I show him in any way? That will be fine, dear, responds Eve. Yates walks in alone, without his bodyguard. He seems confused. How is this possible? How is what possible, Mr. Yates? Asks Jeff. This place was completely destroyed yesterday, flattened to the ground and then some. I watched on real-time video as the hypersonic missile made impact. This isn't possible. You seem a bit confused, Mr. Yates, says Jeff. Sit down and I'll have Mavis bring you a cup of hot coffee. Would you like that? The video feed did go black after the explosion, but I figured it must have been some sort of magnetic interference. How are you still alive? And how did you rebuild so quickly? I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Yates, says Jeff. Please return the glowing rock, pleads Yates. You have no idea how much trouble I'm in with the lizard people. Lizard people, repeats Eve. Yes, everybody knows lizard people rule the world. Actually, I guess you'd say we acolytes working for our reptilian overlords kind of run things. Are there other alien factions on Earth? Demands Eve. Who are you? Asks Yates. I'm Eve, an associate of Mr. Blank. Yes, there are lots of aliens spread out all over the planet. But I am in service to the reptilians, unless Mr. Blank would like to make me a better offer. You are currently out of your mind, Mr. Yates. Would you like for me to call someone? A psychiatrist perhaps? We ran tests on that glowing rock you stole. I stole nothing. It appeared to be an ordinary rock. A rock not from this planet, but an ordinary rock, nonetheless. That's why my people were so careless with it, using it as a paperweight. Damn fools. So what is it? Can it bend space and time? Is that how you rebuilt this building so fast? You took it from the past and put it in the present? Because that would explain a lot about your sudden rise in status. With all due respect, Mr. Yates. You are a lunatic, says Jeff. War it is then, says Yates, rising to his feet. My masters will have that stone even if they have to tear the world apart. Good day, Jeff, Eve. He leaves. A few moments of silence, then Jeff says, I think we've kicked a hornet nest. Yes, new calculations have to be made, says Eve, and new courses of action taken.